Right, next step we're going to cover is actually filling out the forms. How does that work? What is the best practices? Let's just start by going to the transactions home. So once we go to the transactions home, and if you've been watching some of the other videos, I may be kind of skipping over some steps because I have covered them in those other videos. But the transaction I'm working on here is 123 Anywhere Drive. And the reason why I kind of wanted you to go in succession is because we cover some tips on making the transaction go really smooth once you're ready to fill out the forms. So if we go into 123 Anywhere Drive, I've got the forms in here, and I took them from a template, so I didn't have to add them individually. I took all the forms that I needed, and then I also pre-populated the forms with the data that is common on a lot of the forms. So that it was covered in a couple of those other videos. So if you're wondering how I got some of that stuff in here, that is where that's coming from. So in a loop, there are basically three sections. You've got your documents, and they're covered by folders. So I can rename, I can hide them, I can open them, I can rename. I'm going to call this my listing docs, because I can add more folders. I can add a new folder. So I can, if somebody makes an offer, I can add that folder and add his documents in there, so I have everything all in one spot. So it's basically, again, it's in a technology world, it's basically, again, an online filing cabinet, and you are putting in files into the folder, and you're basically making sections of that folder. This is the listing section. Here's offers section, so I can review my offers, but it's all done online for you. And I know some people struggle with that online world, and if you understand how it works, it makes stuff so much easier. If you don't understand how it works, it's very hard to deal with, and you want to go back to the old way. But hopefully these videos are helping you understand how these systems work. The next section is the people down at the bottom. So I've already got Jane Seller in there. I've got myself in here, and then I've got my tasks down at the bottom, which we covered in those other videos. So if I want to fill out one individual form, all I have to do is click on that form. So I click on the form, and everything should be assigned already. So me, the listing agent, Jane Seller, the seller, I say, yep, absolutely. So now I can go in here and populate these forms. So today's date, I type that in, and I can just tab through the rest of the form. So I can just tab. Anything that I filled out, it's saying right up top, your two fields have been auto-filled, and that autofill came from me filling out the details page of this contract. So I can undo that if I wanted to. Then I can fill out the rest of this, scroll on down, and then what is really nice, where I need to sign shows up in a I guess that would be a salmon color. So I hit sign now. It's going to pop up. I've got a couple options here. I can use their generic signature, confirm and sign, or I can also draw. So I can actually draw in my signature if I wanted to. I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to go with a type. But you do have that ability to do that right from your computer. I say confirm and sign, and now that is signed. You see that in green there. So I am basically done. Oh, I need to initial here. Now, since I selected that I'm going to use the cursive font that they use, when I initial this, I just click it, and it will automatically initial it. I don't even have to pop up. It doesn't ask for my password. It's a huge time saver over the last the dot loop that we were using before the current My Transactions. So everything is done here. I have a couple options. I can save and share it. So basically, I could allow this to be shared with my client. And at this time, I think the best practice, if you're going to be sending a bunch of documents, is to not share it now, because they'll get an email saying this document's been shared every time you share a form. Basically, we want to share it one time with them, and it's got all the documents for them. So we're just going to save this for now. And then once it's saved, we go back to the loop. It's going to ask me again, are you sure you don't want to share this? I said, no, I do not want to share this at this time. So I filled out that form, and that was one at a time. You can fill out more than one. Just check the box. So if I want to fill out these 4 forms right now, check those forms. Over here, there's a little drop down, and click on the open. And now it's going to open up those 4 forms inside this field. And again, it's going to make sure that the people are assigned right. I say, yep, that's absolutely right. So Jane's going to sign there. I obviously cannot sign anything there. I'm going to scroll down, fill out anything I need to fill out on the form, sign anything I need to sign. Again, check boxes are right there. I sign here, and I am going to confirm and sign. And that document is signed. and I just scroll on down. You can see how all the forms are in here now. I'm just scrolling down to get to those 4 forms that I had filled out. So now basically I say, yep. And I apologize, I'm not filling out the form. I think most of you guys know how to fill out the form for the fields, so when you guys need to put in information. So then I'm just going to save that, and then I am going to go back. There was an error. All right. Let's see what that may be. I'll say save here. All right, it did save them that time, but there did happen to be an error there. I'm not exactly sure what had been that issue was, but if you want to fill out again one at a time, multiple at a time, and then when you are all ready, so you're ready to share your documents with your client, that is where you start checking. So you've done it, you filled everything out, and you're ready for them. Then you hit share, and it should do a little pop-up. And come on. And this actually may be unshareable due to the fact that I do not have an email in here for Jane. So I'm just going to put in an email, jane@gmail.com. Oops, we lost a second. Please sign back in. Perfect. All right. Apologize for that. And I'm actually going to post this video because I've gone too far, and then I will come back on here to get the resolution to what had happened there.